Come here now, girl.
Hello and welcome to part 4 of Asset World, my Let's Play where I try and put together a city using only the assets reviewed in WhatMap, both past and present. Right, first one up today is the Dehner Garden Centre and Zoo, which appeared this week in episode 416. It's by SvenBerlin, and when it says zoo it means like a pet shop. Of course it does. Next up, Commercial Building 002 by vladalexsh. This is a lovely shopping mall. Vlad has put his branding right across it. It works really well as well. I don't mind that. A little bit of generic, shall we say, fictional branding. It's not really fictional because he's a real person. Vlad, I hope he's a real person. If he's fictional, I'm losing all faith in humanity. You know, you can't even rely on people to be real. Anyway, yes, this is the commercial building. It's a triangular shape and just trying to make it fit in with the city. Now, I say there's no real planning with the city at all. I'm just I could play with anarchy there. No, just gonna move the building and then plop it in afterwards. Yeah, there's no long-term planning with this because I don't know exactly what's going to come next. It's not like I'm planning the buildings to fit the roads. I'm literally planning the roads to fit the buildings. There is a general plan, overall plan to the layout of the city. Like we've got an old town, we've got an industrial area, a trading park area, high res, low res, all that sort of stuff. It's all going to come together, hopefully, and not look too stupid by the time city starts properly growing. So anyway, there we go. That's the Commercial Building 002. Next up, a whole batch of low density assets from the king himself, KingLeno. Now everybody has been swooning over these. They're not just low density residential, they are cheap end low density residential, social housing, council housing as we'd say in the United Kingdom. Yeah, cheap as chips, and yeah, it's lovely, absolutely lovely. I mean, at the moment, just put down some roads. Yeah, these aren't the houses, I promise you. These aren't the houses. These are roads. You'll be able to tell houses by the way that they're like three-dimensional. Now, I was going to copy these across. Now, no, it's not going to work. It's not going to work. You're going to have to sort of like search them and plop them using Find It. So here we go. Now the three sets of houses you'll be seeing here are the Highland Manor apartments, the Imperial Courts public housing, and the Windsor Terrace apartments. There's 5 different styles in all. I believe it's the Imperial Courts public housing that's 3 different styles, and then the Highland Manor and the Windsor Terrace are both just one type. All appeared in episode 418. If you want to have a longer, more lingering look at them, a better close-up, a slower, although we will be having a nice little slow transition at the end, you'll get a better view if you go and watch episode 418 of WhatMap. And of course, as I've said before, every building, asset, prop, and whatever you'll see in the series will have appeared as a review within WhatMap. That's how it's going to work. And one thing that will happen, and even in this episode, there's going to be a change. I might have to make allowances and demolish things that I've put down, or move things that I've put down, just to make the whole thing work. So yeah, I thought it'd be nice little cut through there, pedestrian footpath between some houses onto the road. Unfortunately, by the end of today's episode, that has to be gone. Well, it doesn't have to be gone. It gets gone, and then it doesn't need to have gone. We'll get there. Well, I promise you, we'll get there. So anyway, here's some more of these. These are the Imperial Courts, I do believe. And then, what is it, the top end? The Highland Manor apartments at the top end. Yes, it's all going to come to it. Now, people that have said you want to see detailing, because of the way that I'm going to run this series, I will detail to a small extent, especially with Surface Painter. But things like trees and props and whatever, less so. Why? Because what I want to do is only use assets and props that have been reviewed within WhatMap. So trees, yeah, I'll put down trees. if they have been reviewed. And actually I've reviewed surprisingly few trees, so I'm going to have to do a few tree reviews just to give me some trees to play with in Asset World. I can't just use the stone pine set, and I don't even know when that was reviewed. It might be months before I can put down any trees, so we will look into that. We will definitely look into that. So yeah, I'm not so worried about detail. I want to see what the buildings look like all together. And of course we've got things like the quirky asset, the Saturday asset, the quirky asset of the week, which quite often is going to look strange because they are not regular assets by any shape of the imagination. For example, just last week, I think it was last week, yes, we had the giant rubber duck. A giant rubber duck, and yes, I will be placing them down in Asset World. I'll try and place them sensibly, make them try and fit. For example, we've got the Fallout 4 for Fallout Shelter already in this particular build. Now, the next one up is from episode 419, and this is the fire station number 24. Now, I am not exactly sure where it's going to end up, but right now I figure just up here and out of the way, and we will move it to a more sensible location when we get there. Next up, from episode 420 of WhatsMap, we have the NBC4 Eyewitness New Station Pack by Studio 800 Gaming. Sorry, the fire station number 24 was by DieHardHunter. Got to give you your credit there for your good work. Very nice. So yeah, this is by Studio 800 Gaming, and it's a pack. There's 3 items in the pack. One is a natural disasters item. If you've got the DLC, bingo. If you haven't, less so. I've got it, but I'm not going to be placing it down. I want to try and keep this non-DLC as much as I can this particular show, so that everybody can feel involved. So anyway, there's the NBC4, and I figure I'll put the sign on that side. There's a little bit of cliffage going on. We will worry about that when we get to it. But I think it's going to work. I really do, actually. I think this is all going to work in the end quite nicely. Right, and the last one, going to the quirky asset of the week from this week, was the Aperture Laboratories episode 421. This was by Bento, Gambin, and you'll recognise Aperture Laboratories from, if I can say it, my teeth are falling out today, from games such as Portal and Half-Life. So yeah, it's a really, really lovely scientific laboratory that you could be using just for generically. But I just like the fact that it's little nods to, if you've not played Portal, you really do have to. It's a really, really fun puzzle game, 3D, and it's just so funny as well. So very funny. And if you can't have a laugh while playing a game, when can you have a laugh? So anyway, that covers this week. Now we're having a look at the one back in time. Now this first one's from episode 49 of WhatsMap. It's the STU Office Growable 2x3 Level 2 Office by Tony R68 Z68. Followed up right now with the 3x3 Kyoto building number 6 level 1 office by BachToBaroque. Okay, so that will then be those two buildings. Following up with that, after that, we have from episode 51, a Deep Blue Office 002 by Deep Blue. That's that modern looking dark building there with the blue logo on the top. And then we go to the classic. It's this Quad's Grace by Quadriators, and it's very modern mini skyscraper, weird shape as well. I love it. Followed up by the Crescent Centre. Now this is a lovely thing, and it's by KingLeno. Why are we not surprised that such a lovely thing comes from KingLeno? We're not surprised at all. It's brilliant work. It's from episode 53 of WhatsMap, if you want to go and have a look at it in slow-mo and just take in the quality of the work. It's really, really nice. Plenty of room outside the front of it there for your own individual detailing as well. I'm going to use move it to just shift it up a little bit because we've got some glitching in the middle in the those triangular gardens there. So I'm just going to change the height on it, and those will glitch into there you go, green. There we go. Good work. Well done, BonBonB. Well done indeed. Then we have a residential building. This is from Wattmap 54 by Thomas 13TO. You'll see it very briefly. I just plop it in there and it fits nicely. I'm very happy with that. Actually fits the gap very perfectly indeed. Right, finally, now if you saw the last episode of Asset World, you'll remember these elementary schools. Now I give a little nod here to Baddie Deer and also an apology. I said that there was glitching and there was no fix. Well, as you can see here, we've got a fix. Baddie Deer had indeed already fixed it with a non-sub building asset, which is what we've got here. I didn't read enough. I know, it was in the description. I didn't read it. Baddie Deer, you are indeed a very patient legend, putting up with the likes of noobs like me. Here's me trying to fit these. These are actually 3 separate buildings pushed together. And hear me think, I think I could just fit it in there. So I demolished those buildings I put down earlier. And no, they won't fit. How obviously weren't they not going to fit? So I had to find a way of making them fit into this educational district that I've got going on. And I figured by extending that road out there would do the job. So yeah, we'll do a little bit of shifting, make them all fit, and all good there. So anyway, that's about it from today. We'll be going to the cinematics, the slow wandering cinematics in a moment. I'll keep talking for a little while that starts. But yeah, that's it from today. We've covered all of this week's assets. We've covered all from episodes 49 to 54, including the extra one that we didn't do as well. Oh, deep breath. All the links, of course, are in the description to go back and if you wanna have a look, or if you want to subscribe directly. All those will be in the description as well. So anyway, thanks very much for watching, commenting, liking, and subscribing. Join me Monday to Saturday for What's Map, where we review maps and assets and themes and LUTs as well. We do all of that. And I'm doing map making on a Monday and a Wednesday, and possibly even on a Friday as well, possibly. I've got a new series coming up this coming month. So keeping it a bit hush at the moment, a little bit hush, and then I'm working on an idea. Well, it's the most requested idea that I've had, seeing if I have time to do it. On top of that, I really want to get together a new series of Skylines talk, so I'm trying to contact a few people at the moment, see if I can get that doing, and there's just not enough hours in the day to do everything. Of course there isn't. I really wish there was. I want to go full time. You've got to help me, guys. You've got to just watch everything I put out or just at least click like. Take this opportunity now, if you can, to hit like. If you haven't already subscribed to the channel, now's a really good time to do so. I'm going to stop talking now, let you take in the very end of this cinematic fly through. You have been a BonBon Elite member today. I've been BonBonB, and you've been very, very welcome.